It's exactly 20 days to the Edo State governorship election, where a replacement of incumbent governor of Edo State, Godwin Nogegase Obaseki, will take place. Over 15 political parties are gunning for the Edo State governorship election. Who will prevail? Only time will tell. But most importantly, the electorates, the over 2 million registered electorates, will make that decision on the 21st of September 2024 across the 18 local government areas of Edo State and across all the wards and all the units in Edo State. We don't want to bore you with the statistics of the units and the wards, but in today's program, our focus is on candidates' pedigrees and voters' choice. We're having guests joining us from all across the world, and you'll be meeting with them shortly. I'm Sonny Duke Okosun. It's always a delight to have you join me on the program Politics Today. As a rule and as a standard, our studio line will be opened much later in the course of the show, so you, the electorates, can participate and contribute to the discussion. But let's get right into the package for today. With me in the studio is a member of the PDP Campaign Council media team, Christopher Ojekere. Chris, thank you for coming on the program.
Yeah, thank you, Sonny.
Also joining us from the UK, specifically in Birmingham, I'd like to thank Eromosale Ray Agbohai, who is a member of the APC Diaspora Campaign Council. Eromosale, many thanks for joining us on the program Politics Today. Hope you're good in the UK.
Thank you very much for having me, Sonny Duke. Nice to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. And we also have Nosahai Onaiwi, who is a member of the PDP Campaign Council in the Diaspora, also joining us in today's program. Nosa, many thanks for joining us on the program.
Yeah, thank you, Sonny, too, for having me. Thank you very much.
We will be having the Labour chieftain from Edo Central Senatorial District, former member of the House of Representatives, joining us in the course of the program. We're also expecting Osahon Ewingare Osas Kindness, who is a member of the APC Campaign Council, joining us live here in this studio. Thank you, gentlemen, for finding the time to be part of the program. Let me take us right away to UK, Birmingham City specifically, beginning with Eromosale. Share your thoughts on the voters' excitement, political education, and readiness for Edo 2024 in view of the engagements that have been ongoing with the candidates so far. What are your thoughts?
I think my initial thoughts are one of real excitement, of joy. I believe that the people of Edo State have really come out to show a lot of love and support for our candidate. We've been going around the entire state from central to north to Edo South, and the reception has been immense and wonderful. And unlike the other party, a genuine reception. I think that our candidate, Senator Monday Okpebolo, has been able to link with the people in such a way that no other candidate has been able to. His ability to interact with people across board in Edo State, from the grassroots to the market women to even the politicians, and now the professionals are even joining in supporting, because they've seen the value of his candidacy. It's been a really good experience across Edo State. And I'd like to say it's been an opportunity for a candidate to actually dispel all those lies that have been told by the other parties. I'm not going to mention any specifics, but all the other parties, about his abilities, his capability, his capacity, And it's, they are all licking their wounds now because it's obvious that our candidate is the man to beat. So the engagement with the voters has been high quality. Reception has been overwhelming. And we can only thank the people of Edo State for that.
Thank you, Eromosade. Let me quickly link up with Nusa Hai. Nusa, give me your thoughts on the voters' perspectives on the candidates in this election in terms of awareness of their pedigree, in terms of awareness on their pedigree so far.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mrs. Sonny, again. First of all, I want to say big congratulations and happy birthday to our amiable chief, Osawaru Saskib Osawaru Benedium, for his 90th birthday. And having said that, the voters are so excited. We've been communicating with grassroots voters in Nigeria. We'll be having a series of meetings right from here in diaspora, and we've been engaging the people on our own capacity to come out and vote. And the result we'll be getting so far is that people are excited. People want to vote for PDP. People want to vote for Dr. Aswarime and Barrister Osarodion Ogie come September 21st, 2024. Now, talking about our principal itself, as I speak now, they are on their way to On1. They are doing the 2-on-1 today. So they're going to engage with the people there, and they're going to sell themselves. They are going to market themselves very well for the people, and the people are buying into it. We flagged off in Nubiaja a few days ago, and we can see the turnout. So what that is that, I mean, if you want to couple that with the poll that just been conducted, you can see that people are excited. The poll speaks for itself. I know that's not a yardstick for election, but I mean, it's also an example to say that over 86% of people wants to vote. So if that figures are there, that shows that people are excited. And even right here in diaspora, we're still engaging our people, the Edolites in diaspora. We've done all the town halls. Now the people are willing to go back. So many people have bought tickets. I was amazed the way people are flying down from the diaspora to go and support their polling unit, to go and deliver their award. It's Operation Deliver Your Award. It's Operation Deliver Your Polling Unit. So the people are excited and they are willing to come out in mass, despite the humiliation from our opposition party arresting our guys, right there on ground, trying to make sure they silence them. But you know what? We cannot subscribe to that. So people are out, people are here to campaign for PDP. People really want to vote, and people want to vote competency. People want to vote, leadership that can take them forward. It's different for you to not having experience as a mechanic man. You want to open a mechanic workshop, and you have an experience as a mechanic man opening the workshop. The productivity is going to be very different. You're not going to rely on people, or you're going to rely on capacity. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. I'll come back to you. Chris, let me get you in here. Why is there so much emphasis on the fact that Edo 2024 is not about political parties, it's about the candidates? Why is there so much emphasis across political divide?
Well, because Edo State is in the crossroad of history. And in that crossroad of history where we are, we have come to realize that we need a man who understands the times, who understands the epoch, who understands that our national government has run the entire country aground, and that we can no longer depend on the rentier system, because the paltry sum coming from the national government can no longer support the unit states. So we saw the foresight, and then we decided long before now, since 2020, in fact, since 2016, to begin to take the destiny of Edo and put it in the hands of Edo people and the resources that is in Edo State. And so we needed people who understood that. So in 2024, it has become even more dicey when the Nigerian Naira is more or less what was described in Uganda as toilet tissue paper works. The Zimbabwe dollar, that's what it has become. Where we can no longer have any form of sustenance from the federal government. You now look into the unit, the subnational government. Now, in Edo State, we have resources that can make us exist on our own as an individual state whose population is more than several states in Africa. And then we'll be able to build those resources into wealth for our people and build it into a thriving economy. We needed people who understood that. So we found Asue Ighodalo, a man who has been in the thick of things from the beginning when these thoughts and understanding came to Edo people, and was part and parcel of those who built the blueprint that would be able to help us in Edo State to be independent of the national malaise. And so that is why everybody in Edo State understands this and decided that, look, in 2024, if we concentrate on political parties, we might be misled. Why the political parties are the agencies that will bring the candidates, we sat down in Edo to say, we will look at the candidates. If you go and take the statistics, about 80% of Edo people were undecided until the parties brought forth the candidates. As soon as they brought up the candidate and Edo people looked at the candidate, the choice was unanimous. Asue Ighodalo understands what it will take to take Edo people from the doldrums where we are economically, the doldrums where we are security-wise, the doldrums where we are in every other wise, social-wise, to where Edo wants to go. Edo wants to compete with the Committee of Nations. We see ourselves as a nation. That's why we use the word Edo nation. And we are sure that by the grace of God, by the human resources that God has given us, by the mineral resources that God has given us, that if we have a man who is the captain of the ship, we'll be able to coordinate all of this and take us to where Edo want to go. And that is moving Edo from where we are now to being among the first world economy. There are smaller nations in the world that are in the first world economy, and we want to go there. It's a serious business with us, okay. And Edo people are aware of that, and that's why by instinct, by default, deliberately, overtly, and covertly, everybody have chosen the man who we have seen that can take us there. Okay. So that's why the emphasis is on him.
All right, thank you very much. Yes. I'll come back to you. We have the former member House of Representatives who was in the House of Representatives on behalf of Esan Southeast, Esan Northeast Federal Constituency, Barrister Sergius Osiasochi Ogun, joining us on the program, Politics Today. Many thanks again, Sergius, for creating the time to be part of the program. But let's quickly establish something. Where exactly are you? A few months ago, you contested as an aspirant under the platform of the Labour Party. Today, some say you have rejoined your former party, the PDP. It's a double-barrel question. Where are you exactly? And secondly, what is your take on the relevance of pedigree, capacity, and experience in Edo 2024 governorship election?
Well, thank you for having me. I am still a member of the Labour Party. My ward, my voting unit, instructed me to work for Asue Ighodalo. I actually had a meeting with them, and they said, for those of them that went to Labour with me, said, look, we're going to return to PDP. But I have stated that I'm doing so many things under Labour here at the National in Abuja and the part of the North, because we are working on a third force, that I will remain in the Labour Party, but will work for Asue Ighodalo. Asue Ighodalo and I are from Esan Southeast local government. He's from Ward 1, I am from Ward 10. And like they say, every politics is local. What they told me clearly is that we worked for you to go to the House of Rep 2 times. It's your time to also work for your brother. So go and work for him. So that's very simple and straightforward. And that is why I did not hesitate to go and endorse him at the flag off in Ubiaja on was it Thursday now? Or be Friday? You know? So, yeah, that's where we are.
What informed that decision? Was it just because politics is local and you are trying to lean towards a brother or a community person or a village person, as it were?
Well, politics, like we said, is local, but this is especially my voting unit. We have always voted for PDP we get 90-something% from my unit. So when I told them, look, when I came home, I had said that.
Well, it's a
came
bit of
home.
a challenge there. Yeah, I hope you can establish the video so we can continue with your conversation. Okay, you can just, okay. We'll come back to you once you're able to position your camera properly. But let me quickly link up with Romosale in the UK. Romosale, what do you make of these talks about your principal, your candidate not having the pedigree, the capacity, and the ability to lead Edo State, particularly in terms of the modern realities of governance, economies, infrastructure, and all of that? For example, he's been severally accused of being media shy.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for that. When you talk about pedigree, I think pedigree, in its clean and pure form, relates to the lineage that you're coming from. So let's talk about the political pedigree of our candidates, political and social pedigree of our candidate as compared to the others. This is a man who, even before going into politics, has made it a point of duty to connect with the people, to support the people, to provide infrastructure, provide any form of support in terms of water for his people, boreholes, roads, scholarships. I think in terms of pedigree, the political capital that he has, even from that, is immense. You cannot compare this to the other opportunists who are just riding on the wave of a governor, in the name of Governor Obaseki, who was elected, and people had so much hope around him because everybody thought he was a technocrat, and he could come and change the face of Edo State. My brother there, Chris, talked about so many things that the PDP candidate will want to do when he comes into government. He's forgetting that this man is not dissociated from this government. He's been part of this government from the start. Even before then, he was part of the Oshomole government. So any sort of input that he's planning or he's trying to tell the electorate today that he wants to use to engage and prop up the lives of those citizens, I think we can discount that because that cannot be true. If he's not been able to impact the government positively over the last 8 years or more, then there's nothing he can offer. This is a man who has no serious connection with the grassroots. He has no serious connection with his people. He has no serious connection with those citizens. I wouldn't like to call him an outsider because that would be a harsh word, but he's a bit artificial in terms of his engagement. And we could see in Ubiada the other day when the campaign was held, both of them practically embarrassed themselves, the governor and the candidate, because there was nothing for the governor to point at in Ubiada in Edo Central to say, this is what I've done here, so vote my person, and he will continue from where I stopped. Absolutely no track record of success, no track record politically, and even when we look at the Labour candidate as well, no pedigree in terms of politics, no pedigree in terms of helping and supporting those citizens to any standard. This is their first engagement with the people, and all of a sudden they want to govern. My advice to them is to go back and come back in the next 4 years when we'll see a track record of what they have been able to do.
All right, I'll give you a pause there, Romosela. I'll come back to you. But let me have Nusahayo Naiwu. What does pedigree experience mean in this election as it relates to the aspirations of all the candidates, particularly your principal, who some have accused of having so much wealth of experience and pedigree, but no connection with the people? How does that resonate with you?
All right, thank you so much, Sonny. Like my brother just said, I want to waste time on talking about defining what pedigree is. We all know what that is. So for pedigrees, across the three main major candidate. You know, for as for Godalo, like you said, everybody knows his pedigree out there in the private sector. And you know, I keep saying it. Someone that have run, you know, a company like Bowie Godalo for so many years, and he has been chairman of different economic summit and chairman of different companies, banks, and all of that. At least by now, we should have had somebody come out from those places he has chairman and he has run to say, oh, when I was working for Aswarime, he never pays my salary, he never looked after me, he's not a successful man as an MD or whatsoever. We've never seen any of that. So that shows that, and this is the time that opposition would have used any of his enemy against him. He doesn't have none. So which means he's so successful when it comes to, you know, managing people, when it comes to reaching out to people. Like he has always said times with that number. He has worked his life raising money for companies, for organizations, and he knows where to raise money to govern a state. So he has the experience. The pedigrees are out there. Now, talking about political pedigree, like my brother said, that there is no connection in political pedigree. That's not true. That's absolutely not true. Because, like he said, and he just said that, and he contradicted himself immediately that he has been part of this government. And somebody just said a few minutes ago, does he have political pedigree? You know. So now he's saying he cannot discount himself from what has happened. You being an advisor and you being the man handling the mantle is a different thing. I can advise you, Mr. Sonny, it's up to you if you will take it or not. But when I become the person sitting on your chair, then I can make 100% decision. So that one is clear. Now the last one, connecting with the grassroots. As for me, house, they came up with lies that it doesn't have a house in the way. But later we saw videos. He has a house. Oshomole was there when he died. He goes home every Christmas. So the people knows the family. You know, Iwodaro family is not a family you don't know in Esa land. You know, by the grace of God, himself and his family has been doing things in Ebuimi, bringing lights even before now to Ebuimi. So you should need to bring us for remain here and ask him what he has done in his grassroots. And we have so much to say. Like we said, we are not surrogate speakers like our opposition party. He's always there. I've said it times with that number. So for us, pedigree across private sector, political and grassroots is there. And that is what the people of Edo State are looking at. That's what the people of Edo State are asking.
All right, thank you, Nusa. I'll come back to you. Let me quickly link up with Barrister Sergius Ogun one more time. Give us your perspectives on the relevance of pedigree and voters' choice in this election, quickly.
Yeah, I would say we are dissipating too much energy on talking about who the opposition is. I mean, they are out there, they are out from Edo State, and they are vying for this position. Let's talk about the individuals. The man I have chosen to support today, Aselime Igodalo, is, his resume is out there for everyone to see. He's a self-made man. He's made so much in the private sector. You go and Google him, they said he's worth how many $1 billion? You know, how many people can boast of that today? So for his age and his exposure, I think he's the right hand to govern. But having said that, Okwebolo is my brother. Olumide is my brother and my friend. And I have perfect relationship with all of them. But today I have chosen to work for Aswelime, and I believe strongly of the three of them, he's the strongest hand to govern Edo State because of his exposure, you know, and where he's coming from. So I think we shouldn't dissipate energy running anybody down. That will not add anything to their votes. Is Aswelime good to go? Yes, he's good to go. He's from my local government. I know his place in Wohimi, you know, Kaigben there. And they are great people. And I know they are all supporting him. When they say he doesn't have grassroots, that's just, I don't want to use negative words here. That's not what should be debating here today. Even you talk about Obaseki, I remember 2019. Yeah, 2019. I was on the program, or early 2020. I think I was on the program. I think it was actually Rise TV. And they were asking about Obaseki. He was still in APC then. And I said, look, he has done well. And Ruben Abati said, look, are you this charitable? You are a member, you are a serving House of Rep member in PDP. And you are saying nice things about a governor of APC extraction. And I gave him an example. I said, look, the road leading to my father's house in the village was asphalted by Obaseki. I said, I don't think his predecessor would have done that. And I even told him that NDDC was coming to do that project. Take this project elsewhere. He told me, don't rely on NDDC. And NDDC delayed in coming. So he fixed that road. I said, for me, he's done well. But guess what? Even now, you go to my village, you can hardly see a road that is not tarred. I did some of the internal roads, but the major roads were done by World Bank and, of course, the state government through counterpart funding. When people say Obaseki hasn't done anything, I don't know. Don't bring anybody down. Go there and see. Massive road with massive drainages. People give me the credit at times when they go to my village. I say, no. I fixed the solar street lights and all, but those massive roads were done by the World Bank and the state government, counterpart funding. So we should give Obaseki credit for that. People said he just painted the secretariat and all that. Painted? Come on, we should grow above this. It's not just, it was deep renovation he did. If not even, you can even call it rebuilding of those structures. People don't know what it is to go to an environment, to go into an environment that is hostile where you cannot walk. But to bring you back to a place when you are walking, you feel like it's home. The air conditioners are functioning, the staircases are working, the lift is working. He should be commended for that. You know, and he's done a bit with the schools. You know, most of the schools are now fenced. Government is continuum. If one government could do it, maybe Oshomole would have done everything and there would have been no need to elect an Obaseki. So let's give people credit when they have done well. And I believe Dr. Asuelime Ighodalo will continue from where Obaseki was stopped in November.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pastor Ogun. I'll come back to you in a moment. If you just join us, it's still Politics Today on Independent Television and Radio. And joining us now is Osahon Osabohien Emingare Osa's Kindness as a member of the APC Campaign Council. Share with us on the conversations around pedigree experience for the candidates as it relates to voters' choice in this election, because some say your principle doesn't have what it takes to govern Edo State in terms of intellectual capacity, in terms of experience, in terms of pedigree. What are your thoughts?
Well, thank you very much. Just to quickly say that those who say my principal do not have the pedigree are either deliberately avoiding the truth or they do not know the truth at all. Issue of pedigree in terms of who becomes the next governor of the state is very, very key, you know, and we must look pedigree beyond papers. I do respect to every person who are in this race. They are all worthy Edolites, very respectfully, and I have tremendous respect for all of them. But we must begin to look at antecedents. You have pedigree, yes. You have pedigree, yes. You have paper qualification, yes. But how does that translate to development of the Edo land and Edo people? It's a different matter altogether. And that is why we must begin to look at the antecedents of every person that have presented themselves up for elections. And that brings me to my principal, who I'm here to promote. I would not want to bore myself with other candidates who are in this race. Like I said, they are all Edolites and we will not condemn them. But looking at the person of Senator Monday Okbewolo, a.k.a. Akbakomiza, he has been a senator for over a year now. He has been a true son of the Esan people. And you must begin to look at what he has done with the resources that he has in the last 1 year, vis-a-vis what others have done, those who came before him. Those are the issues we must be looking at. First of all, you must admit that the most difficult problem in Esan land today is water. Because I have rich friends who are from Esan land, they are not able to even seek boreholes in their heavy houses. You can ask Aso himself if he has borehole in his house. But a man has been able to deploy government resources to bring water to almost all communities today in this land. That is worth emulating, and is worth commending. So that is why I'm saying that. It is not about what, because everybody do not have the gift of oratory. I must quickly say this. Everybody do not have the gift of oratory. And we have also seen over time that those who are gifted in oratory do not perform as those who are development driven, like you have in the person of Senator Monday Okpebholo. And that is why I'm saying that we have a candidate who is worthy to be governor of Edo State. We have a candidate who have all the prerequisites, a qualification to be governor of Edo State. And that is why I'm going to ask Edo people to support the person of Senator Monday Okpebholo, because he has proven himself to be able to deliver.
Has he been able to articulate all of these and present them to Edo people in terms of expression, in terms of engagement, in terms of interactions? What is his blueprint in this direction? Has he been able to convey that the way you are saying it now to Edo people?
Thank you. You see, in this election, Monday Okpebholo is reaching out to those who are important in this election. The election is about the people.
So there are those who are important and those who are not important in this election.
Every Edolite is important.
No, because you said yes, reaching out to those who are important.
In this instance, the important people are the electorate, the voters.
Okay.
I am deliberate about using the word those who are important, and I do not intend to withdraw it at all. Those who are important in this election are the electorate, and he's articulating these views to them. He's reaching them in the grassroots, going to their houses, going to their villages, going to the huts and hamlets, telling them what he will do for them. You see, what we have in the media is different from what we have on ground. It is not sufficient to come to the media like we are now and be speaking beautiful English, but that will not translate to development. I've always said this: the water in Uselu does not understand English language. When you go there and speak all the English language, you will not live. It is a purposeful governance. It is government. It is somebody who understands what to do that will be able to remove that water from there. Our schools, I have 3 villages, for instance. My maternal village, my paternal village, and other. They talk about schools in Edo State. If they have performed like this, want us to believe in the media, how come no one of these 3 villages that I personally come from, none of the schools is functioning? So you see, it is not enough to go to one place, snap pictures, bring them in the media, and you say you have done everything. Nothing is on ground in Edo State today.
Let me pause you there. Chris, let me get your reactions on these issues that are on the front burner in terms of pedigree, capacity, governance, agenda, and what have you in this election as it relates to your principle?
Well, to be very honest with you, I've been very sad here because we just have 20 days before the election, and facts have made themselves obvious to the whole world. There's hardly anything I'm going to say now that is not an obvious fact to the whole world. So if you have somebody in the UK who doesn't understand that by the political philosophy of the very candidate he's supporting, he's not an Edo person, but he's going by the name Eramosele, he's in the UK, that by the philosophy of the APC, Eramosele is not an Edo person. Because if you didn't grow up here, lived here, baptized here by a catechist from your village, attend all this time, you dare travel out of Edo State, you are no longer an Edo person. And I am surprised that even he himself used the word, or a similar word, to say, Aswe Wodalo, and he's speaking from the UK. The danger of staying and reading only APC social media. Now, first of all, he speaks about connecting with the people. Society is built up into different segments, different interest groups. You have people like MBA, NMA, market women, students, university students, and so on and so forth. Can we get 2 or 3 groups that your candidate, Akpakomiza, has visited?
Yes.
Modern society, no, let me finish. Modern society is run by the media. You are sitting here in the media speaking to Edo people. Can we have 3 media, including ITV, that Akpakomiza has visited? So where does he find these people? You are not visiting interest groups that society is divided into. You are not visiting media. Where are they living inside water? Anyway, you said they're in hamlets and villages. Now, Akpakomiza has refused to speak to Edo people, and you say he's connecting. How do you connect with people that cannot even see you, that you cannot even speak to? Go and do your inventory. Since Ashwe Ighodalo started this race till now, he has been on his feet. And I can count for you over 100 groups inside Edo State. Now go to your campaign rallies. By the time you are able to get 1,500 people on ground, you have won a jackpot. But we bring people there in tens of thousands. When they said that they had cancelled or nullified his candidacy, 50,000 people were on the streets in Ring Road, standing to defend their candidates until the courts made nonsense of that foolishness. Go to Ubiaga 3 days ago, and you will be shocked, you'll be intimidated at the crowd of people. The other day, my friend was driving when we were going from one rally to another with very long buses, moving crowd from one rally to the next rally. You are saying connecting with the people. A man has come up with manifesto which is discussing with the people. Your manifesto is audio. We have not seen it anywhere. We hear it only in your mouth. You can't give me the 5-point agenda. I was one of your chieftain on television program. I told him, give me the 5-point agenda. He gave me. I said, if I have another APC chieftain, I will give me another 5. Because the manifesto is in the mouth of individuals. We have a written document which other people can hold us on. That's why Ighodalo has just given us the 3 starters that he's going to kick off with. He's going to kick off with security, he's going to kick off with intervention fund to the vulnerable and the poor, and he's going to put to practice his zonal economic development agency. These 3-pronged starters. He's discussing it with the people, market women, students, professionals, and so on and so forth. You say, you are talking of pedigree, and you are telling us here of digging boreholes. And you are telling me that for 1 year that you sent a man to represent you who has abandoned the representation and is here in Edo moving up and down, that the constituency funds he got to represent Edo Central to come and dig one borehole. Let me finish.
I won't let you finish. No. I won't let you finish.
Okay, now Sabu, just hold on. He has the floor. He has the floor. Hold on.
Okay. We'll get it to him.
Because it's important.
No, he has the floor.
I started by creating the background because everything you say here is in the public space. People were sent there to go and confirm the borehole. 2 families came out, probably his families, and tried as they could. Water could not flow from the borehole in Ekpoma. And Ekpoma people came up, it's in public space, and said, which borehole did you say you put here? That water has never run. So you are citing borehole that does not produce water as what a senator did for 1 year with constituency project. I'm not asking to give account to you. Now, these are the kind of things that annoy me. And that's why I say I've been very sad. And you are doing this. The man in the UK, it was in the UK, Akpakomiza could not tell the difference between a zoo and a museum. In the UK, addressing foreign journalists. And that man is there and he's defending such man. Go to your INEC form. We are talking of his pedigree. The INEC form Akpakomiza submitted, work experience is nil. What work experience by himself? He wrote it himself. And you are giving him, there's no false witness. You are giving him a pedigree that he himself said he doesn't have. Nil. Because he cannot say anywhere that he has worked. He said he has a Chapman computer company. We went to Jos. One small signboard in the story building that has over how many complexes. That's where you have one small store that they call a company. Where has he worked? That you say he spent government money to develop people. Where did he work? Is Ighodalo a secret? Is Ighodalo's work, pedigree, Banwo and Ighodalo, is it a secret? Over 100 lawyers employed in Banwo and Ighodalo, is it a secret? Oshomole went to the press, the man who is managing him now. That same man told us that Akpakomiza is a slow engine. Do you know what the metaphor that means? That means you have to push him to start. And that's why they stand near him to push him to talk. And what has he said? He's connecting with the people. Every time he stands in the podium, he says, your education, do you want your education back? As if it's a commodity. I will give your education to you. He will go to the next item. Your mineral, do you want your mineral back? I will give your mineral back to you.
Okay, let me.
I expect that by now APC should be sober and regretting the cataclysmic mistake that you have made. And you are still going out defending him. Nobody has anything against him as an individual.
Let me push it.
We are saying that he does not have even the basics. The basics. Do you need to have pedigree to know that Akoko Edo from Isha? Does anybody, son, who knows Akoko Edo, is there any son who cannot tell that Akoko Edo to Isha would be at least 1 hour 30 minutes drive? That is only 10 minutes.
Chris, I'll respond to some of the issues that he raised.
Well, first of all, we must understand that when we're in the public space, the things we say are very, very important. It is not sufficient to come here to hoodwink Edo people just because we want to win elections. First of all, let me tell, perhaps he's not aware, that last week, Abakomza was in Doctor House. He had an engagement with the doctors. He had an engagement on that same day with the Unibank community. He also had an engagement with organized private sector at Westview Hotel. I was privileged to be in that meeting. So to say that it's not meeting with people, it is like I said, it's either he's not aware or he's just playing out their card.
How can I be aware when we don't see anything in the media?
Which is the trademark.
Are they covered?
Which is the trademark of the PDP, lying to the people. We have seen them perpetually lying to the people. And although people are wiser, they are no longer looking at rhetorics or fine words, they are looking at substance. And that is what we have to present, substance. Abakomza is not just a ball seeker, like he said. Go to Eastern Land, there are primary schools and secondary schools scattered everywhere. Their computer is equipping the schools there with modern computers, which is expected for our age, because you cannot continue to live in analog time. So Abakomza understands this thing. He's talking about what has he done. He is a successful businessman. I deliberately do not want to throw tantrums at the person of Aswe Udalo. He's a fine man. I like him as a person. You know, he's a good speaker. He's a man who has done well in the law firm, yes. But that is not what Edo people want now. Edo people want substance. They want development. They want somebody.
What's your definition of substance?
Good. They want somebody that can transform the resources of the state into visible development. That is what Edo people are looking for.
Let me,
now, please let me quickly
anchor the point.
Let me quickly anchor this point. You see, Edo must be able to rule Edo. Like I said, Aswe Udalo is an Edo-lite, yes. But how much of us does he know? How much of Edo people does he know? How long has he been around? What does he know about our culture? A man, it takes a man who is true Edo-lite to understand the meaning of Aigoba Simi. We have made mistake in 2016 by bringing a man who were merely introduced to us. Merely introduced to us. We didn't know his history. We didn't know where he was coming from. And that is what that's what they are also bringing back to us in the person of Aswe Udalo, who happened to be Obasanjo's mirror image. You know, so we do not want a replication of what happened before. That's why we are saying we want an Edo son to be Edo governor. Not just an Edo son, but Edo son who has proven to be able to deliver, given the meager resources that is
all right, let me proceed there because we don't have so much time. Let's go to the UK. Eromosele is standing by. What is your take on the blueprint of your principal for Edo State? If you are saying he's got the pedigree, he's got the experience, he's got the capacity, we're just sharing now that he's been able to engage with some critical stakeholders. It's on record that he's yet to engage any media organization in terms of expressing or bringing all of these things out. So what is his blueprint? What is his manifesto? What is the agenda in terms of the economy, in terms of education, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of revenue drive? What is the current GDP of Edo State? What is his plan in that direction?
Okay, so firstly, let me just, I think my brother in the studio, Chris, mentioned something about our philosophy in the APC and being that anyone who is outside the country is not a citizen of Edo. That is absolutely not true. The reason why Aswan is going to have a tough time on the 21st of September is very simple. For instance, I grew up in Lagos and then I moved to the UK. I've never lived in Edo State, but I visit Edo State regularly. My mother is from Sabongida, where I speak that language extremely well, nearly perfectly. And there's so that no one can call me an outsider. There's no reason why a 64-year-old man from Edo State cannot speak at least one of the languages
Yes, Marcel, because we are pressed for time, I'd like you to just go straight to the point. We're pressed for time because we have just 1 minute here.
Yeah. So the agenda, my candidate has been going around and expressing himself clearly and fluently, not just in Pidgin, but in English and in Isha language, which the PDP candidate cannot do, even if you pay him $1 million. The agenda is one of infrastructure. He's looking at all the deficiencies where the government has failed. Obasanjo's government has failed fully. We compared to all the monies that have been received, over 500 billion that have been received during the term of this government of over 7 years plus now counting, compared to what we can see on ground. I was in Benin a few weeks ago. It's very, very shameful. So we're looking at infrastructure. What can we put on ground to support businesses? Fix the roads. We need to look at roads. We need to look at schools. We need to look at our education system. All these stories about Edo Best, they're all lies. If you go on, I went to schools and I was ashamed. My candidate is going to have a proper look and assessment.
All right, Romasali, thank you, sir. We've talked about pedigrees and all of that, but can we just spend 1 minute to look at what can be done differently from the perspective of your principal?
Dr. Asorime Godaro has stated very clearly in his manifesto. My brother was asking me about manifesto from our opposition party just now. We have everything stated right here. So what that means is that he can be held accountable if he doesn't do all of these things. Now, for our principal, when it comes to being the governor by the grace of God, yeah, we know Edo State, GDP. We know the IGR by now, and he has promised to increase it. And we're talking about fixing roads. We're talking about schools. We're talking about all of this. What Edo State is receiving now cannot even do that. But now he has come out and said, I know where to get this money from, because we need to go and sort for funds. We need to get donors. Now, what that is that you can only lend or come to do projects in a state that you have a trustworthy governor. So people will go there and search your record and know if they can trust you, which Asorime Godaro have done that. He's trustworthy. People can rely on him. People can leave money for him to do business. So that one is going to be like a done deal. It's going to be an rule government. So probably this might be my last time to speak because of our time. I want to tell the Edo people, please come September 21st, come and vote PTP. They will do the work. Now,
all right, thank you, Nusa, thank you. Let me see if we can have a last word from Barrister Sergius Osasoje Ogun. Give us your take on your overall expectations as far as this election is concerned.
Yeah, like the last speaker said, Aswai is exposed. He knows where to get the money. The multilateral bodies, UN, EU and all, they can help us with the schools, UNESCO and all. So I believe with his exposure, strong hands, we're going to be able to bring in the resources to build on what Obasanjo has achieved so far. These things cannot be done in one day. And my brother there was talking about schools being fixed, water being fixed in Central. That's not correct. October just had 1 year budget that has not even been executed. So where did you get the money to fix all the borehole you are talking about? And from Eastern Central. Personal resources to fix borehole. And from Eastern Central.
Yes.
Father, mother.
Yes.
But
there is a school. There's a school.
No, just so let him establish the point.
1 year not do it. And when you say his own personal resources, I am from Eastern Central. So when you say personal resources, he fixed boreholes in all communities. Not in my community. I represented 2 local governments. So I don't want to go into personal things. Like I said, Monday is my friend. When we come out here, we should speak to facts. They are all great sons of Edo. And for now, I am supporting Godalo, and I believe strongly with his exposure, he will be able to bring the resources to build on what Obasanjo has achieved so far.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me come to Sabo here. You've been itching to say something on the final note in terms of the blueprint from your principal for this election.
What we want to do differently is to ensure that our state is not perpetually mortgaged, like we already have them doing. Today, Edo State is indebted to the tune of about 575 billion. We don't want to continue with that. We want a government that will be able to manage, micromanage the meager resources that we have in Edo State, that we make sure the resources get to the grassroots. And that is what Mondo Pewolo represents. We do not want we don't want a stranger. Now let me speak quickly to the Esan people. It is your season, it is your time. You must vote one of your own. And to know your own, you must either know him by the language he speaks or what he does. The man who presents himself in PDP is not, might be Esan by name, but in act and in deed, he has not proven himself to be a man. First of all, he has been a chairman of a bank. In the entire Esan land, not one bank of his bank, not one branch of his bank is in Esan land.
Okay.
He has not proven to be an Esan man.
Okay.
So we want a man who is part of you, who has been part of you. I think we have legacy of Salim University.
I think the Esan people will be in a better position to know that. Thank you. Let me first. You have your time. Thank you very much, Chris. 1 minute. Yeah.
Well, I thank God he's not Esan. The rest of Edo will not have voted for Esan. He's here preaching Esan centrism when he should be preaching Edo State.
No.
So that's the kind of mentality. That's what I'm telling you. You are just told the Remosele again that he's not Edo. He was trying to defend you people now. That's the kind of mentality you'll be selling. If we had, thank God, people did not start talking from the beginning, the governorship would not have gone to Esan. Because you preach ethnicism, you preach ethnocentrism. It's have to be preaching Edo. Actually, it's appealing to the whole of Edo State. You keep talking of Esan.
If it
now,
was,
let me explain to you. Let me explain to you.
You had your time. You had your time. No, you have your time. Just hold on. We are pressed for time. Hold on. We are pressed for time. Sabohe, don't make this rowdy. Don't make this rowdy. You had your time.
No, it's good with.
No, you had your time. You had your time.
Criticizing a man whose name is Aswerime. And you are saying Monday, who has a Greek name, the name of a god, a god that people worship in Greek land, that those who have that name will become born again, they change that name.
Your name is Chris.
Hold on.
Your name is Chris.
We are not talking about me.
No, your name is Chris.
Listen to me.
No,
you're talking about
Osamohe, can you allow him to have his time? Allow him to have his time.
His name is Chris.
Allow him to have his time.
Aswerime Igodalo. You are saying that a Greek god name is more Esan than him. Can't you see the mentality?
Your name, the name is
okay. Chris, I'll pause you there, Chris. let me get just 2 calls and we'll call it a wrap on the program. Hello, caller. Good morning. Welcome to Politics Today. Good morning.
I'm calling from Igwe.
Yes, go ahead. Advocate, go ahead, please.
I want to salute the mature men there that have contributed immensely. So, you see how Sajasogu has spoken. He spoke maturely. He can't cause a passion on anybody. That is it. But we the ESA have made up our mind that the best candidate is Aswe Igodalo. That is the man we will support. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Advocate. Our studio line is still open. Just one more call, and that will be it on Politics Today, this beautiful Saturday morning. Hit us on the number 08077. Here, I got you on the program. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning. My name is Frank.
Okay, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Irwa.
Go ahead, please.
I'm surprised that somebody who is not an Esan man is taking Panadol for the headache of an Esan man. I am from Esan Central. Let that man that is speaking for Okwebulu go and follow me to Isha and show me where the community where Okwebulu put borehole. Let him come and show me the community where he put schools. I heard the situation people come to the media to continue to lie. You have a motto that the engine is bad. You are pushing it. You are still convincing people to join you. It's not done that way. We are not blind. We are from Esan. This is 24 years now that Esan had the opportunity to be a governor. We are not going to bring a joker. At the end of the day, you will tell us which not this man. As when you go down, is the man we need, and it's the man that can do it. We don't want somebody that they will be talking to. Even if you hold a slip, he cannot explain. I said speaking Esan in the Saturday Avenue. No.
Okay. That's much of the time we can have on the program, but we hope you had a great time. My parting words. We have the APC candidate, Senator Mondo Okpeyolo, Labour Party candidate, Barrister Olumide Akpata, the PDP candidate, Barrister Asorime Igodaro. We're inviting them to the program Politics Today next week, Saturday. It's not a debate, but we want to use this platform for them to engage with the people. We're inviting Senator Mondo Okpeyolo to Politics Today next week, Saturday. We're inviting Barrister Asorime, the PDP candidate, to Politics Today. We're inviting Olumide Akpata, Esquire, to Politics Today. Each of them will have a minimum of 20 minutes to talk with us. It's a challenge, and we hope that they will take it and be on Politics Today on independent television and radio. We're looking forward to having them here on the show. That's our package for today. We hope you had a great time. Thank you for staying with us. Do have a great weekend. Tomorrow will be at Family Intercessory Ministry, where Iyemohia will be hosting a special prayer session for the Esama of Benito Herald, the 90th birthday anniversary. And I also understand that there is a Lifetime Achievement Award to be bestowed on the Esama by the church on that occasion. So we're inviting everyone to join us. 9 a.m. is the time. We'll also be broadcasting that event live. Have a great weekend ahead. Bye for now.